Martin. As you know, our aim now in this video is to take a look at a use case of a student of ours and focus more specifically on how he developed his research topic and then how his research questions emerged from this topic or research hypothesis, of course, if this is the case. But before we talk about the topic and the questions in more depth, let's give the people watching a brief overview of the whole dissertation that we're also going to show through our canvas, so that people get a better idea of what this research is about. So the first point is the structure of the dissertation. How is this specific dissertation structured?
From this student, it is as usual with the introduction in the beginning. Then we have this literature review, the research methodology, the data analysis, and the findings of this dissertation and the conclusion.
So that means we have a very standard structure of introduction, 3 main chapters.
Yes, because he follows the template he had. So it was really good for him, and he did it in a good way, yes.
All right. And what is actually this dissertation about? What is the topic that he's dealing with?
The topic of this information, of this dissertation is management of information processes for optimization of sales in small and medium sized enterprises operating in the segment business to business, B2B. So it is small and enterprises. It is in the dissertation we have only SME
Mm-hmm.
and B2B, but to explain a little bit, and the students will see it on Canvas, it is optimizing of sales in SMS operating in the segment business to business.
Okay, so we have we can see how the topic is narrowed. Not all companies, but SMEs in particular, and not all SMEs, but such operating in the B2B segment.
Yes, this is good for a dissertation, as we do in other stages, to show that you have that you have to do the research in a possible way. Yes.
All right. So from this topic, what is the object and what is the subject of this dissertation that the student has identified?
The student identified as an object the role of information processes in business in B2B sales optimization.
As we know, objects they're usually it can be a model or a process that student look to investigate.
Really, and he did it. The role of the information processes. This was his object. Like we give the advice to say a method, for example,
Mm.
or a process, or something known. Yes.
And in his subject, did he try to narrow down the subject, or did he just look at the topic from a different perspective?
No, he said the customer of this are the small and medium enterprise, and the small and medium-sized enterprises, and they use this information processes in their strategics, in their tools, and he want to analyze the tools in these companies. So as we often speak, that the subject are the consumer or the people we can ask, and we can do the research to find the object. Yes. So he did it in the small and medium sized enterprises, and did it in this what the organizations used in these processes.
So, in a way, he defined the concept of information process as to how companies collect, analyze, examine
Yeah.
information.
But the subject was really the small-sized enterprises. The small and
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, and the sales, more specifically, of these small and medium.
Yes, in this case, specifically the sales.
And I believe this is also the aim of the work to examine, or we can say also to provide a better understanding of how the information processes, which we just defined, impact the sales of the SMEs.
Yes, and he did it in this right way to say, I want to have this understanding,
Mm.
to improve it, and yes, to give this good comprehensive understanding, to have a better understanding of the processes.
Right. And regarding research questions and hypotheses, I see that in the example we have in front of us, that the student has decided to include both questions and hypotheses, perhaps to fully answer, to address the topic fully. What are maybe some of the questions, or let's say the biggest question that he wants to answer in this work?
I think the biggest question he want to answer is what we show in Canvas as number one: how can business to business firms manage information processes efficiently to enhance their sales operations? Though the main idea is to get better revenues, to get better sales, but to formulate this, he did it in a research question: how can business to also B2B firms
Mm,
manage these information processes?
exactly. I think another question he was interested in is regarding the advantages and disadvantages of the application of technology in sales, and also what some of the ethical considerations for B2B organizations are when managing information processes. Okay, with regards to hypotheses, um, I believe we have here not a directing hypothesis, but a more like indirecting, more neutral one, that the effective management of information process is critical for the sales performance. Mm, does anything else? Do you notice anything else in the hypothesis?
I have these three hypotheses for me, and the students will see it too. And he is right that it's critical for improving, and this is, in my opinion, direct,
Mm,
because it is really critical. And there's critical is critical. You have not positive or negative. It is critical. So
mm,
this is a good idea, and the successful development of information management systems and processes can lead to increased sales revenue for business to business organizations. Can lead, yeah. And he said not positive. It can lead.
mm.
So I think his hypotheses are good formulated. Yes.
All right. What was his choice of methodology for this work?
He did really a good research, and his decision was to do a mixed methods. So he chooses both
I think this is also connected with the fact that we have both questions and hypotheses,
for sure.
right? And some of the approaches he used for data collection was surveys, I believe,
Surveys and interviews.
and interviews.
Yes, and for sure this literature analysis, because in a mixed methods you have more theoretical part, yes, and empirical research, and he did really both.
Mm-hmm. As for the literature research, I believe some of the topics that were addressed, such as the role of technology in human resources and all the challenges involved around using technology to improve sales. Um, did he also analyze literature based on certain information processes?
Yes, to find out what is good for his dissertation, he firstly started with literature in a very common way. What is business to business? What is he had to define in his dissertation the meaning of small and medium sized enterprises, because it's different in countries. and then he had to refresh his own knowledges about, we see later, AI and all these technical issues. Then he had this management point of view. So it was really hard work for him, and he did it really good. And you will find it in the sources in his dissertation that he read a lot of and to point out the state of the art in this situation, because you can imagine that many people are writing about business to business companies. They are writing a lot of small and medium enterprises, but to connect all this, and in his specific way, first he had to read this overview literature, and then more specific.
All right. And so this analysis of the impact of information process on the improved sales of B2B companies, did it take, what form did it take at the end? Did he develop like a new model or a guideline for the companies to use?
Yes, he has really good practical outcomes, and to give a storyline to the how to say, the customer of his dissertation is not only the companies, as often in our field, the consultants which are working in this field. So he did really, and he give, I think, a good handbook for using this.
I think this also answers the question of what the main outcomes and contributions were. In terms of applied contributions, it's of course actionable tips and insights for the B2B companies to use in optimizing their sales. And I think in general, for the scientific side of the contributions, through his analysis, he deepened this understanding of SMEs in particular in this B2B field, which is, that was his research gap in the first place.
Yes, good summarized.
All right. And maybe the last point that we can address is maybe you know how he published the results of his dissertation.
Yes, and it is not only in our program, it is often in programs that the students have to publish during the academic journey in the PhD, because it is a possibility of quality control too, to tell the scientific community, I'm working in this dissertation, these are my topics, as a first result, for example, to give an overview about the state of the art I found out. And he read a lot of books. As I remember, he published minimum 3 articles during his dissertation work.
All right.